So thank you for joining me. This is Bunny's Designs. This is part 3 of colour mixing with printer inks. And the reason I'm using that is they're cheap and cheerful, and as a tight Yorkshire lass, my watercolours were disappearing before my very eyes. So the idea is to practice with these printer inks, and then I can make my own colours and have a fairly good idea of I'll just zoom out, just bear with me 2 seconds. And that will give me a fairly good idea when I'm mixing with my real colours. I've got a piece of kitchen roll here, which is getting rather grotty. Watercolours. Now, to prove a point, I've been mixing with 3 colours in here, and that's almost black. So that proves that on the colour wheel, they tell you that the middle is black, and it is, because I have been mixing magenta, cyan, and lemon jaune, and I have got black water. So welcome everybody. This is a live stream for Ustream, talking to live people, and a little popping in and out every 5 minutes. As a government warning, if I find there might be some loud barking any second, I will shout dog, and then you have a 3-minute warning or a 3-second warning to turn the volume down, because he's right next to me and it's impossible to keep him away. So I'm doing the colour mixing with the printer inks, and I bought them for £3.50 from Wilko's. So I have the cyan, the very cool vibrant blue, the magenta, which is a very cool pink, and the lemon, which is a very cool yellow. Do be careful with the mixing fluid, and I would think that's very delicate and very deadly, so be very careful if you had any kiddywinkles about, or puppies in my case. So I'm playing about with my, excuse me, I've got terrible indigestion. As an old woman of 52 until next month, I should know not to eat pie. I'm too old to eat pie now. Isn't that sad? I get indigestion. Oh, hi Emma. Welcome everybody. Who's Marilyn? Have I missed Marilyn? Welcome, I do apologise if I've missed out anybody. Welcome to the Madhouse. I'm still using my printer inks. So I've decided to use pipettes because they're quite handy. My colours are depleting rather, but I've got very good at mixing them very quickly, and I've only done it twice. So that means that when I'm using my really expensive professional watercolours, I won't be messing about and ruining them. Do excuse me. So we've now come to, we started with a colour wheel. I'm using these little A5 sketch pad, and actually, although they're only 135 GSM, they're taking quite well. I thought it would go through, and they haven't really gone through. So we did a colour wheel. So I started with the very I thought it was a bit too pinky, so I've toned it down very carefully to that's probably a rose madder. I would think that's a rose madder. It's not quite an Elysian crimson, but I would think that's a rose madder. And I've made the 6 primary, so I had 3 colours. I had the bright pink, I had the lemon, the yellow green, and which is light lemon yellow, and I had the cool blue, the blue green, which was the cyan, which is like cerulean blue. And they're the only 3 printer ink colours. So I've then made the oranges. It's a very strange system, but if you're using these, you have to make the second-rate colours green, yellow, orange and purple. Because if you put a touch of the yellow into the red, you get orange. you don't get the red. You don't get the red orange, you get vibrant orange straight away. So I made the orange, and then I'd put a touch of orange into the pink, and I got the red. And I had to do that for the other colours. For the yellow, I couldn't put the yellow, couldn't put the red into here to make the warm yellow. I had to make the orange, and then I put a touch of the orange into the yellow to make a warm yellow. And the purple, I made the purple first. I put the blue, the cold blue, and the cold pink together to make a beautiful vibrant pink. And then I had a touch of, purple, and a touch of purple into the cold blue to make an ultramarine, a purpley warm blue. So that's the blue purple, a BP. So it's a rather strange system. If you're really careful, you can do it, but they're so vibrant that one touch and they're straight into their complementary colour, secondary colour. So we've got 6 primary and we have 3 secondary colours. And I just thought, for interest, I would do some tertiary colours. And they're all the colours in between. But I just thought I would make one, I would make a reddy purple and a bluey purple, a bluey green and a yellowy green, and I would make a reddy orange and an orangey yellow, a yellow orange. And so that gave me that one. So it's not quite an orange and it's not quite warm cadmium yellow. Did that make sense? Everybody, let me just. So is everybody okay with that? Did that make sense? If you want to ask me a thing, pop it in caps because I'm going to take my glasses off now. Yes, they are. They are easy, but they're only easy because this is the second time I've done it. And as this proves, it's so easy to go over the colour. It's very easy to go over the colour. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you very much. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is part 3 of a live stream. So that's what we did, and then we took a prime. I'll pop it on there because it might make it a little bit easier to see. We took a primary red, so we had the reddy purple, and we had the reddy orange, and I added the complementary colour, which was green. And the first time we did it, we got some browns, reddy browns, and we got some reddy browns. We used a darker green, a richer green, and we got some lovely greys, red greys. And again, we did it with the red purple, and we got some red purpley greys. But they're warm greys and they're cool greys. And so we then, and of course, because I'm a messy girl and I wanted to see how far I could go, we did the primary yellows. So we had a red cadmium yellow, and we have a cool yellow. I've been calling it a red orange, but it's a warm yellow. And again, we've added the purple because it's the complementary colour. So the first purple was this one. And so we started here and we got some browns, some tans and some browns and some warm greys. And then this side with the cooler yellow, we had some nice cool oranges, I would call those, which lent into some nice browns. So then I decided to do it with a deeper purple. So I mixed the deeper purples with that one, which is a darker purple, and we got some different browns and some reddy browns, and and this side some cool tan, cool browns. I tried to take it to grey, but I didn't have enough space. But eventually, the deeper the colour, the more greys you have. But I thought they would be quite nice. So then we had primary blues. So again, you add orange to a primary blue. So it was a kind of a nice orange. It was a dead in the middle orange. It was half. It was kind of half between yellow and red. So it was an orange. And the cool blue made some teal and turquoisey colours, and then it went into some nice olivey greens, and then it went to some nice warm. They are quite warm, those browns, but they are greeny browns. And then we did the purpley blue, and we had some lovely greys instantly onto greens then, but a deep green. Those greens are completely different, and yet we've added the difference is the blues. It's the same orange. So I decided to have a bit more of a reddy orange, an orangey red. And we started with some even brighter teals there, turquoises, but then we had some lovely greys and greens. So again, we've learned, and there's some nice browns, grey browns, those lovely grey blues and grey browns. So the brighter and the deeper colour of the the complementary colour, the more greys you get. Is it hot here? It's actually warm, but it's our summer, and it's not particularly brilliant. No, we have funny weather in England. We have funny weather in England. Um, I wouldn't say it was 29 degrees. Definitely not. Wish it was. I'm going to go live in a desert because I've got arthritis. So that was quite nice, having the different colours with the different complementary colours. So we did the same thing with the purples. And that's the cadmium yellow. So the next one is the purple with the cool yellow, the lemon yellow. So we'll get the two old brushes. So I need a purple. I need a blue purple. So let me have a look at my blue. My blue purple looks rather depleted. So we're going to have a drop of that, because that's neat, and a couple of drops in there. I might as well do that one at the same time. So I had 3 drops of that one, so I'm going to put 1 drop in that one, and I'm going to put 2 drops in that one, and let's just see if that works as in drop for drop. So let's have a look at that one. Oh yes, that was very good. That is a blue, warm, purpley blue. No, I've done that wrong. That's ultramarine. Sorry. This one should be a purple. Yes, I do apologise. So we've got this one here. Oh, I'm sorry. Blue dog. Blue dog. Naughty dog. Oh dear, my terrible puppy. I'm sorry about that. He's such a terror. So if I put some of that into here, and I'm going to put a drop of that into there. So that might be, I do apologise about that. The little rat bag. And that's not purpley enough, so obviously we need some more. This is our red purple, this one. This is a red purple. No, that's still not enough. I think actually that's, I don't know, let's just try that one. So let me just try that. I'm really sorry. I don't think you have, do you have the problem with people ringing you up every 5 seconds? Oh, wow. I'd like to be a little bit warmer. Up north, it's not very warm, but I've been in, we have a beautiful abbey in Selby. So I think that is, oh my goodness me. Right. So I think that one is a pinky purple, a reddy purple, and that one is, so we'll do that one first. So we want this red purple here, a good dollop of red purple, and I don't really want to destroy that, so there's another one. Let me have a look. Have I got another one? We have people phoning up every 5 minutes. It drives you insane. So sorry about that. And it's, do you want such and such? No. Do you want? Do you have? No, 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 thank you. And if you say something that they don't know what to say, they just put the phone down. So I get rather cross. So now we want the cool yellow, and we've got some of this because that's the cool yellow. So I'm just going to put that down. Yes, so that's my purple. That's my other purple. Put that down there. So I'm going to take, that's the yellow. So I'm going to, hardly anything in there at all. Look. And it's instantly dulled. You wouldn't think that that beautiful vivid purple would do anything if you put a yellow to it. And I left most of it on the outside as well. So that's getting duller and redder, which is rather strange because you're adding yellow. And this is the cold yellow, remember. But these are kind of cold. This is the cold red, this isn't a warm red. So if I just put a touch of that into there. So we're now getting almost into brown territory now, aren't we? I think. It's definitely not grey. No, we're now getting again into this fawn on the outside for this one, isn't it? We're now getting into these warm, chestnutty, almost a chestnut, I would say that is. Do you think that's a chestnut colour? Can we see the colours okay on there? Do we think? My daughter normally tells me she can see anything. Well, we don't think we're going to get any grey out of here because we're getting some gorgeous chestnutty yellows. So now we know. I'm going to put some yellow. Oh, wrong way. Just going to put some yellow to that one. I want to see how yellow it's going to go. And that's really taking it to the yellow. So that's quite interesting. So we have a reddy purple and we haven't got any greys. We've got some nice dull purples, some reddy purples here, and then some reddy chestnuts here, to a shade of, a darker shade of yellow. So probably with the complementary yellow, which I didn't put down, and I will do that now. This is the yellow. This is the bright yellow colour, yellow green. So if you put that next to there, that's perfect for the shadow of the yellow. That's because yellow's complementary colour is purple. So probably that's nearest the last one nearest here. So if you're adding purple, it would be one of the first bits. So the easiest way to get that colour is to have the lemon yellow and add a tiny speck of a warm purpley blue. that as clear as mud? I hope not. So let's now try and see what happens with the blue purple. So we've had the pinky one, the reddy one. Now let's have the blue one. And that's on here. So this is the blue purple. That's a gorgeous colour. So this is this blue purple. So I thought that's an ultramarine. That's a purple. So let me get rid of that one. And right, that one. Bear with me 2 seconds, just making sure my paintbrushes are really clean. So now we want some of the yellow. So we want yellow green, which is the cold yellow, a lemon yellow. In this case, the neat yellow from the printer ink. I'm just going to put the tiniest amount on there. And then I'm going to mix that in. So that has instantly gone a shade darker. Again, I'm going to put some yellow on there. I'm going to mix that in. And that's going a purple grey. Again, I'm going to mix. Oh, I think I've taken that too far. Let's have a look. Yes. I think that's taken that too far, maybe. No. Now that's a nice grey as well. So now that's taken it a step further. So now we're into the greys. And now that's the green grey. So we've gone from a purple grey to a green grey. And now we've gone to some greens now. So go outside here. So this is a nice green. I'm going to do that way. Look. Just put a touch there. So this is quite interesting. This is really nice for shrubs. So we've got some really nice greens. But we started with purple and now we've got some nice greens. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I thought about doing them in the squares going down, but then I thought, well, sometimes it's a bit monotonous. I wanted them to be neater than this, really. But thank you very much. So we've got a cooler purple, a bluer purple, and because there isn't a lot of red in it, because obviously the purpley red's got more red than the blue, we're ending up with some nice greens. There's some sage, not quite sage, yes, I would say sagey greens, but here, just before we're halfway between the pinks and the purple and the green, we've got some nice purpley greys. So they would be lovely underneath each other as a shadow. So we could take that a step further, just to see how light it would go. I think that is a pretty good green, is that. So I'll leave it there for those. Clean the paintbrushes and then wipe these clean. So that's quite good. So if we have a purple that has more red in it, we're going to get some nice chestnut browns. And if we have a purple that has more blue in it, we're going to get some nice greens, because obviously the yellow has overtaken the red to make green, because blue and yellow make green. And at this side, the yellow has overtaken, the yellow hasn't overtaken the red. The red has still remained dominant, because it's because I don't know why, but obviously we've now got the browns. Sorry, the blue. The red has dominated the blue to give you browns. Right. So now the interesting one is the secondary colour, orange, and I thought we would do that with ultramarine. So they're clean. So I do hope everybody is enjoying this. This is playing with printer inks. It's a bit long-winded, but I think once you've done every combination, you've got it. And whereas I play about with this all the time to make sure I've got the right one, I can just look back to this and these, and it will tell me if I want a chestnut brown or do I want a nut brown. So we want 2 oranges. We want an orangey red. So that was a red yellow. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Let me just double check, because I think I messed about with those a bit. Yes, so that's an orangey red, orange red, and that's orange yellow. So your middle orange would be in the middle, and the complementary colour for orange is blue. Yes, so we need, we'll do an ultramarine blue. So I'll put that down and I will play with, that's the orange red. Right, so we're going with this one, which is this one. So we now need, I'll just put a tidge more on there. So that was yellow, orange, wasn't it? Yes. So now we want some purple. We would like, sorry, blue. We would like some ultramarine, which is a purple blue. So there's a purple blue. So we just want the tiniest amount. And instantly that's darkened it. And another tiniest amount. That's darker still. So we're getting some burnt oranges. These are lovely burnt orange colours. So that's quite nice. I think this might go a long way, this one. Oh, now we're getting into some orangey browns now. It's more brown than it is grey. It's a browny grey. Now these are getting into greys. That's a browny grey green. I think my paintbrush is dropping to pieces. Look, I've got pieces of it everywhere. So now we have greeny greys, I would call that. But they're quite nice colours. And we're going to go out here, I think. So now we're getting some really dark greeny grey colours. So these aren't vivid colours, and this proves that on the colour wheel, if you want a bright green, you want the nearest blue and the nearest yellow that are together to make the brightest blue. And this proves that if you have the furthest away, in which case we've even gone further and had an orangey yellow, and we have the furthest away purpley blue, which is the ultramarine, we get a dull green. So it works. Yes, I must admit, I didn't think I could do it, honestly, because I thought the printer was far cleverer than I am. But I printed off this, I photocopied, this is a laptop cover that I've had for many years. And the gentleman has now brought out this book, Avalanche, Colin Thompson's colouring book. And he's brought this out. And my first idea was to start with one colour and colour round. And actually I did quite a bit. I did quite a few. I'm not sure where I put them now, but I did quite a few books and I coloured them in different colours, and I thought, well, that would be more interesting than just a boring colour wheel. But I got a bit, you would, it would, excuse me, it would be okay if you were just colouring it, but as a colouring guide, it's better to do it when you can write on where everything is. Excuse me. But actually what's happening is when you colour in, you do mix the colours yourself and you blend. That's what blending is. Blending is making a brighter green here and a darker green over there and all the tones in between. So that actually proves that the colour wheel, the furthest away, and obviously, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I had a pie at lunchtime, and I mean, I shouldn't have. I was going to say I haven't had indigestion for a long time, and that's probably why. Sorry about that. So we have a very, very orangey, well, it's a yellow orange, so it's the furthest away from the bright yellow, and that's the furthest away the purple, the blue purple, and we have a dull green, and that's what we expect. So that proves that that's right. But that's some really nice greys and some really nice burnt oranges. So a burnt orange again is something that's got that little bit of red in it. So I might just carry on and do a little bit more because I want to know where this goes. I mean, these would be so gorgeous on tea roses. This is the these are greeny greys now. Look, we're getting into the greys now. A little bit more, a little bit more. Definitely not a blue. I would say that was a greeny grey. And again, you keep going, you should get to the middle, which is a grey. So there's some really nice greys there. Instead of a black. I mean, these are they're not really warmish, they're quite warm because the ultramarine's got red in it and the orange has got red in it, but it's not got a lot. So if you remember that, there isn't a lot of red in there. The only red comes from a little bit from the orange and a little bit from the ultramarine. So if I just take that back the other way, so again, there's some really nice dark turns there. Is everybody fine with that? Well, the idea is that you go out and buy 3 colours or 6, probably 6 colours, because the ultramarine is a bit of a toad to get, I have to say. So if you buy the 6 colours, you can have 6 of these, and you could have the hydras, you could have 6 watercolours, you could have 6 Derwent pencils, you could have 6 Inktense, you could have 6, any 6, as long as you've got a warm and a cool of each primary. And that means that you could have a little bit of everything instead of saying that, you know, you need 100 colours out of this colour mix. Oh look, we've brought out 100 colours of this. The only time it's really good is when it's in the little book. Now recently I have been using the watercolours for colouring in. But I think I'll go back to my old way of colouring for two reasons. One is it's so much easier, and the colouring mixing is taking its toll on my wrist, I have to say. I don't know why, but it is. So anyway, enough of my waffle. And don't get me on my little book again. So let's be quick. And we now need an orangey red, which is here. So that's the orange red, which is the ready orange, which wants to be here. And we need the blue purple, which would be French ultramarine. So we've got that one, and we just want a touch of that one into here. And that's gone like a burnt red colour now, instantly. That's almost a brick red. So now we know that if we have a deep dark orange and a warm ultramarine, we get brick red. So that's quite nice. And if we carry on, now I would have thought we'd have gone more purple than brown, but we seem to be going into the gorgeous nut browns. That one's almost what do I call it? It's my fave and I forgot what I call it. Burnt umber. Oops, I've done that wrong. So I'll come out here, and there's some really nice, deep, fairly cool. They're not warm. I would say they're fairly cool. Though. Fairly dark, cool browns. It's not a warm brown. It's not a nice chestnut brown. That's definitely not a burnt umber. It's the other one, like the Van Dyke brown. That's a cool brown. And now we're getting to some brown greys. Now this is almost a grey. I would call that a warm brown grey. And if we just take that now, do that one there. That is definitely a grey, but it's a warm grey. And then I'll take that last bit on the brush and do this. And now that's a blue, so it's going into the blue. So a good idea is to take it from that colour and take it to ultramarine. But again, that's a nice, cool, there's some gorgeous, very cool browns. Oh, bye, Dorothy. Thanks for joining us. So we've got some really nice, I would call those cool. And the red brick is a cool brick red. It's not very warm. I don't think that's a warm. That's a, I think that's like a burnt red. I can't think of a red to go on there. Let's see if I can just think of one. Let me shut that. Just do the paintbrushes for a second. Let's have a very quick look in. You see the tan is here. The tan colour here in the ink tents, that's there. That's quite a burnt colour here. So that's going to be an orangey red. So that's there. That's baked earth. So they are very baked earth colours. I thought I had a brick red. And there's a red oxide. Oh, I've made red oxide. No, I haven't. No, red oxide is warm. So we'll keep going. So I must put a little drop of purpley blue. That's ultramarine. There. So even if I couldn't remember what they were called, I can look and I know, well, I've got a light orange and a dark orange and an ultramarine. And then I can get those earthy. They're all very earthy tones of those. Right. So quickly on to, I think we've got 3 more. So very quickly on, I'm running out of kitchen roll. Never mind, we will function. So now we have the 2 oranges, which we have, and the original blue, the cyan blue, which is the I put selenium. I can't say it today now. I could say it earlier. Right, dry brush, and we want some of that on there. And we want the orange. I'm running out of kitchen roll, but so we have a nice. I do apologise. I'm in the dining room and it's the passageway, so I'm sorry about that. So we now have the orange, so we'll put the orange. That doesn't look. Oh, I did it the wrong way around. Have I? Just bear with me 2 seconds. Honestly, sometimes so the orange red is that one. That's the orange red. That doesn't look very bright though, that yellowy one, does it? For some reason. I mean, that one's brighter than that one. I'm just going to put a little bit more yellow in that. Now that one's definitely, that's a light orange. That's a better one. So right, so off we go now. So that's the blue. So if we take, that's the orange red. So we want the tiniest amount. And straight away it's darker. So again, we're having these darker colours. I do apologise. I'll just have to go tell my daughter to be quiet. So I'll have to just make sure. Just bear with me 2 seconds. If I can stand up. If I can stand up, I will see if I can walk. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I just have to explain to my 18-year-old she has a mouth like a foghorn. Amy, darling, we can hear you as clean as day. Sorry about that. I've got everything piled all around me. Need that drawer open, really, didn't I? Sorry about that. Oh, squeaky chair now. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, my mum-in-law's here and she's 92, but she's as deaf as a post. So she's 3 rooms away and she's shouting. Right, so it's gone. That's gone to some nice, instantly. It's gone into greeny greys. So we'll take this out. So again, this is nice shrubs. This is not like the other green we had. The other green was very much cool, so like for a river, whereas that green there, they're earthy tones, so that would be soil and that would be under shrubs, under roses colours, under leaves. And then we're taking it to the blue green again, but it's it's not a teal, this is a dark blue green. and I'm making a total mess of my page, but never mind. I'm playing with £3.50 printer inks and £2.99 sketchbook, so I'm sure I can live with myself. And there's a tight Yorkshire lass. Having said that, there's some quite nice and I just thought the other thing you could do, there's some quite nice shades in there, and that's my original one, and that's taken it the other way, but then that would be quite nice for a really cool shadow for cerulean blue. So does that make any sense? So I hope so. So we're into part 3 of this epic colouring, epic colour wheels, the colour scales of the primary colours and secondary colours with their complementary colours for grayscale, which is brilliant. Instead of putting greys for shadows and shades, you can use the grayscale and you get the unusual teals and turquoises and the brick reds and the orangey reds, so you're not quite sure is it a red or is it an orange, and so you get all the beautiful different tones that aren't normally mixed, and they're not normally the Derwent 72 colours that has a full range, but there are 72 and they're £100 and odd, which I love, and I've had them for at least 10 years. I must have had, because I didn't pay anything like that, and they're wonderful for my little book. But if you, I mean, I've been drawing for 40 odd years, and so I've collected lots and lots of things, lots of bargains. Most of my stuff came from my expensive professional stuff. I paid £28 for a huge box, almost like a cornflake big box. Where's my palette from? That one, I don't know. I'm really sorry. I've had so many things for so long, but what I did buy, I haven't used it, have I? There was one, yes, I do know. I don't know where I saw one in WH Smith's. That's where I found that, WH Smith's. But I wanted to use the little round ones because it had 10 circles. But I've managed to use these. But originally I used that. But yes, I'm pretty sure I saw this one in WH Smith's because I think this has 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It has 12. Pretty sure I saw one very similar. But lots of our proper shops will have these. You need that for the inky things, but for the others, you don't really need that. And I'm going to do that next time. When I've finished playing with these inks and all the colours, I will then do them in watercolours, acrylics, professional acrylics, and also these acrylics. You see, again, I would love to have the full range of these, but they're nearly £2 each. So I went into the shop and I picked out, but as I say, I made a mistake because that one is not really pinky enough. So like we said, if you do not have the ready red, the orangey red, it doesn't matter, you can make it, but you can't make a pink. You can't make a pinky red. But I did get an azure blue, which is a cool blue, and I got the cobalt blue, which is a darker blue. But I can make that warmer by putting the pinky red to it, but not this one. This is a dark red. I bought the wrong one. And then I bought the two yellows. I bought the canary yellow and the buttercup. And they are a cool yellow and a warm yellow. So I need a pinky red, and then I'm going to make every colour from here. most have shallow wells. This one's got 5 shallow wells. This is a lovely little one, this one, and I bought this when it was on offer. And this is a stay wet one, because again I want to go through buying stay wet things. This one I think was half. These have all got messed up now, bless. But the watercolours that I've got in my little book, I cut the bottom of the pans. If you can see, they're a bit shorter instead of protruding out the top. This one protrudes out the top just a smidgen. You can see it there. And this one you can't, because I cut 2mm off the bottom and stuck them in there. So now I have pure watercolours. And these are these sienna? Is it sienna? Senelia? And this one has quite a few. This has quite a few, but we don't need all those colours. It's difficult for me to mix, but if you don't have arthritis, then you like mixing your. I mean, when you mix your own colours, you literally have thousands of colours. I mean, I'm not sure how many I've just made, but I've made 1 or 2. What did you say, little P? How many did you make out of 2? But I think WH Smith has about 6 different ones. Oh, it was the cat. So now the cat's here. So I have about I have hundreds of these different ones. I shouldn't really buy any more. And then of course you can always play with these. You see, I play with colours, and it doesn't matter if it's watercolour, if it's acrylics or oils. It's always the consistency of single cream. That's how I paint, single cream. They come out in double cream, and it depends what I'm doing. The only thing where that's not applicable is playing with these. But as you see, I mean, I did actually put it in the corner, but if you only want a drop of each anyway, really. 42 shades without the pinky red and the lemon yellow. That's very, very good. Yeah, that's 42. I did think that I was doing 10 pages with 17 on, so it was 170, but then I've doubled up because I've messed about with the colours. So we were going to do a different orange, weren't we? No, we weren't. So we went up there and we went, ooh. So to get these, again, these are teal colours. And these nice grey browns. You need an a yellowy orange, so a pale orange, and you need a cool blue. So that leads us nicely on to the orange red. So our orange red is orange plus a touch of red orange, maybe just a touch more. Oh, now that's a lovely red orange. So that's our red orange. And we now want some cool blue green, which is our cyan, which would be your cerulean blue, your cold blue. Does that make sense? So we are playing with that. So I'm just going to put a tiny little speck of that into there. And the cool blue, instantly, I only put a tiniest amount, has made it again into a brick dull colour. And so that's mixed with that one, and so we'll do that one. And again, yes, that is definitely not a bright blue. I apologise for the noise. That's going into some unusual browns, but now we're getting a grey brown again. We're getting a cool, I think that's a cool, again it's nut brown. And into the grey greens, some lovely grey greens. See, that's a real nice grey green, is that? And now that's probably a grey, definitely a grey green, but it's more green than it is orange. It's not a brown green, it's a grey green. And now it's turning into a, again, that's not a teal. You need a touch of the warm for that. So the red has cooled that down a little bit. And these are really nice greens. I'm really sorry. It's probably, would you like to buy time? I am so sorry. All the doors are open. There are some quite nice. There are some quite nice. I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to go do something. You, I have a slight, very much problem of getting up and down. Oops, I've just. No. Right. So that's now going into a deep, deep. I mean, that again is a. That's a sea green. I would call that a sea green. It's a dark. That's a dark green, and I'll try to mix it back with the blue. What does that do? Yes, that would be lovely, and under the bows of a ship, the reflection of a dark colour there. So I've definitely got to buy some Ecoline. Sorry, is it Ecoline? Because I keep saying Ecoline, Ecoline. So we've got those. So again, your different oranges, even though it was the same blue, which was this one. So the very cool blue reacted with the warm oranges. You got the dark reds, and then you got the browns, the grey, the greeny browns, and then you've got the grey greens. But on this side, we had some tan colours, fawns, some fawn colours, greeny brown colours, and then some dark tealy colours again. They're the tealy colours because they got the orange on the blue. So I hope that made sense and it wasn't as clear as mud. So we have the secondary colour of green. Now I think most of my greens have disappeared, but we'll have a look. So this, now that's my green, but I would call that a green yellow. Yes, it is. So we'll go green yellow. And that is going to be an Elysian red. So I've got a bit of a pink. Oops, I can't use that paintbrush. So that's the red orange. So where's my red gone? That's too pinky, really. I don't know what I did with my red orange now. I would call that my red, Elysian red. So they're quite easy once you get used to them. That's definitely an Elysian red. I haven't got a lot of it, but I wouldn't have thought I needed a lot really, so we'll put that there. So we have a touch of that, and it is just a touch. And I wouldn't have thought that had made a difference, but it has. It's made that a richer colour. It is affecting it slightly. You have to decide whether you want to do kind of lots of colours or you want some big jumps. So that's getting rather grey. So that's a grey green. And it's definitely not bright anymore because your complementary colour will dull whatever its opposite is. But again, you get some quite nice effects. And we've got some nice grey greens going to grey greeny browns now. And again, because it's cool, this is almost a dark. That's the wrong one. We want a spot of, oh no, we want a spot of red, don't we? Yes. I'll just put some of that into there. Yeah, I did a big jump. That was a bit of a big jump. Where's the green gone? It was the yellow green. Just touch it back again. Yes, you're going to get some nice reds actually. So did we have Elysian green with a yellow green? No, we didn't. We used an ordinary green. So again, this is a completely new set of colours. I hope that made sense. In fact, I really want to do that again because I didn't like the fact that I kind of didn't get the colours that I wanted. But we'll see what happens with the... So we want... we need a blue-green, and I think that's... Yeah, this is definitely... This is a blue-green, definitely. So we've got a blue-green. And so now we need the alizarin crimson, which is here. So we didn't have enough of that, really. So that's what that is. But then I do want to just have a touch of that in it, just to tone it down a smidgen, because it's just that bit red. It's as near as down it. No, it isn't. It's now a bit to the other way now. I'm sure that'll be fine. And we now need a blue... Oh, I've just wiped the blue-green away. Silly sausage, we'll have to make some more. I'll just do one drop of blue and 2 drops of yellow. So I'm looking for a blue, so I now need a touch more blue in there. And I need, yes, that's what we've got. So we've now got a green blue, a darker green. There we go, that's better. So that's the pink, so we'll just put far too much in there. So there we go. So we'll take that one to there. So it's made a bit of a difference. And then we want to drop more in there, a bit more. And then we need a touch more in there. So again, this is the, I find these colours are quite rich. So this is the greys and greens for under the roses. Now I did take, that was quite a bit of a big jump, but we now have some nice greys. So these are the greys and earthy tones. So that's a very, very grey. That is a very grey. And let's see if we can turn that even more. I'm doing Elysian crimson. Just a smidgen more to see how we can turn it. Again, it's taking a lot of red, which you wouldn't think it would, to turn those greys. But they are getting warmer. So again, that's a lovely, warm, earthy green. The bark of a tree, the shade of a tree. And then they go to be pinky red, so that would be quite nice. So playing about, give you some really nice colours. So I'll just clean my water. So again, you wouldn't think using the different greens. So this is a pinky red. This is definitely a pinky red, and a Elysian crimson, a very pinky red, magenta, pinky red. And we have with a light yellowy green, we have some nice olivey green colours and some sandy pink colours, and then with the bluey green, the darker green, we have some lovely grey scales. So they're cool when they're grey green, and then when they get to reddy green, they're red. They're warm. So that's quite interesting as well. So I think we have just one more to do, and then we can have a rest. Sorry about the long haul flight, but it's nice. Even watching somebody else do it, you think, oh God, yeah, I've thought of that. Or you can't say, well, would I have this orange and this blue? Why can't I get brown? Because it's not a given that you'll get brown if it's the wrong orange or the wrong blue. And again, now I've got this, I can just come back and say, oh, I can't remember how to make teal. So let's have a look. So now we want to do the blue greens and the green yellows with a cadmium. So I think I've got a smidgen of cadmium left. Yeah, that's just, oh, bear with me 2 seconds. I might be able to make that into a cad. They're all such bright colours. Right, so let's have a look at that one. Yes, that's a cad red. So we have our cad red there. And yes, we have our cadmium red, and we now need our light green. Sorry about that. So let's just have a look at that one. Yes, that's our, I think I would say that was a light green, not a dark green. So let's go for green. Right, so I'll put that on there, hope it's in frame. Oh, thank you. It is, but colour mixing is an art in itself. I'm really sure, I think you could play forever. The gentleman, I love Kandinsky's, his blues are just mesmerising. The purpley blues are just amazing. Yes, I am recording. I have remembered to press record. So, do feel free to wander off and do things. Because they should be on YouTube. It's only if I make a big faux pas, or if little Alfie has disgraced himself, that I find that I'm too scared to put it live. So this, we've made a nice cadmium red, a warm red, and we want a touch of that into here. And I can't always remember what's going to happen. It's a while since I've done one of these, because I don't use them as much. But I just thought people would find it interesting. And again, it proves that you can have 6 colours with ease, 3 if you really want to be clever. And you can have 6 colours of every single supply you want without breaking the bank. And that's why I wanted to do it. I've got behind me, which I'll show you in a minute. When we've finished, I'll show the other colours. Oops, dear, I think they're having a moment. So again, this is the yellowy green, and it's the cold red. And so now we get the browny green tones. Again, a little bit olivey there, I would say. That's a little bit olive colour. And this is a nice brown, these kind of warmy browns. Is that still pink? Yes, it is. So put a bit more of that on there. And I actually would like to have gone right round and done it till it's actually the original colour. So I've taken that from there to there. I may do that again, actually, I think that would be quite interesting. So I'm just going to take that pink I've got here, to say that's now going into a warm brown. That's a reddy brown. So again, that's quite interesting. There we go. So we're trying to train these little monsters. So again, if you say that these are now dull orangey reds, but that's now getting to there. But if you had a flower that colour or a rose, you could use that as these as lovely shades of that. But there is just a bit of an olivey there. And then you've got your bright green, because that's quite a bright green to get these dully colours. Oh, thank you everybody for watching, and as I say, I hope it's not like watching paint dry, which it is. So now I need some more cad red, so let's just hope I've got enough on there. No, I haven't. So I did a couple of those, and I might do this in drops next time. I'm going to do 2. No, I'm not going to do 1, because that yellow is so vibrant. So let's have a look. It's a smidgen pinky, so we'll just do a touch. So that's 3 reds to 2 yellows. And that's almost the cad red, so there we go. And now we want the blue green, which I don't have, so we want a smidgen of blue. This is the green blue, so actually I could have made that, but we'll do that. So let's see what that's done. That's definitely a blue green. Maybe we could have that as just a touch bluer, actually, I think. Maybe just a touch blue. No, that's too far. No, I'll live with that one. That will be fine. I hope everybody's okay. So now we've got a cadmium red and the secondary colour, which is green. We've got a yellow green and we've got a blue green. And the yellow green has given us just almost some olivey greens, and then greeny browns, and then we've got to like I would call those nearly brick red again. So we want a touch of that into here, and a touch more into here. And again, it doesn't take much red to start turning that grey and dull. So it ends up with some gorgeous deep greens. In fact, only by the third one, that's now gone into a dark brown grey. That seems to have gone very quickly. But I have a sneaky suspicion it's because of the red in it. So we've got more blue. That's a nice reddy brown now. So we've got some nice reddy browns, but they're not like the other reddy browns. These are browny reds. These are more dirty oranges, burnt oranges. And then I have quite a lot of red in there, so I'm just going to do that to really take that. So that again is completely different. That's I don't know what I call those. That's going to have some nice greeny browns. There's some nice rich browns there, and then we've got into the dull reds again there. You could probably do this. I'm going to do them with inks as well. I'm going to do them with inks. I'm going to do them with every medium that I've got, including Ecoline and the Hydrus. And I'll probably do the Ecoline and the Hydrus together so we can see if they are different, because that would be interesting. Because I think they're a £5 and these are about £7. But again, I bought the colours in those because I could make any colour then. But I did make a mistake. I bought slightly wrong colour. So again, we've now got two different greens but the same red, but completely different areas. Here we've got cool browns, and we've got cool browns, but we've got yellowy greeny browns here. So still browns around here and greens, but these greens are different. I don't know what we'd call that one. Let's have a look. There'll be names for them all. But I think the watercolour pencils are the nearest. So let's have a look for some browns. What I might do is colour some pencils near them. I can do that actually while I'm in the lounge with everybody else. What I might do is, for my homework, I am going to find my coloured pencils to match these, and then I can tell you what they're called. Does that seem... Oh, that's rather strange. Yes, it would, wouldn't it? But it would also give you an idea, because I think nowadays a lot of art suppliers make a colour. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I've got such indigestion. A quick slurp, as Mr. Thing would say. I think now and it's very much like the house paint, decorating paint. They've done the same thing. They've kind of cottoned on to the colours from a colour wheel. And again, that's very strange. But I think a lot of companies now they've gone back to the original Masters 6 colours. Did I do something wrong, little P? Oh dear. Have I upset anybody? I do hope not. I hope that was as clear as mud. So if we recap really quickly what we've done, I'm definitely going into the other room to buy some Ecoline paints, but the only other thing I could do is I need a trip to Manchester, and I find it really hard at the moment to get about. In September I'm going to London, so I'll be able to go in the art shop next to the art gallery, and I'm too ill to go around the art gallery. How sad is that? But never mind, I've been round enough times. So this was our colour wheel. So we had some really, really nice pinky purples and pinky pinks, and then we had some nice reds and orangey reds, some lemony yellows and yellowy and greens, and some boring blues. But these were all made from these three colours, so I can't count what I've got. But there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh, I can't count them. There'll be a couple of hundred, I presume. Oh, thank you. Well, I think that, I mean, I haven't worked for 16 years now, and I have to they are birthday presents, or if they're cheap, I can sneak them in the budget. But if they're not, which is why I wanted to play again. So I think we had these blues, so the teals are definitely orange. A cold blue and an orange are tealy colours, so, and it's a warm orange, so we need that orange. And then the greys are the warmer, the pinky blues. Again, it's the pinky ones that you're getting the greys from. That's the cooler one with the lemon yellow. More greys with the cooler orange. Not many from Cool and Cool, because the Cool and Cool are nearest together on the colour wheel, and they give you the greens, so that's probably why. A bluier colour for some greys, probably because blue is a cool colour and grey is a cool colour as well. We didn't take that far enough to get it to grey. So what I did yesterday is I went into my Derwent pencil box and I took out a Madder Carmine, which was a number 19, a Deep Vermilion, which is a number 14. That gave me the two reds, and they're the colours there. I took out a Deep Cadmium, number 6, and a Lemon Cadmium, number 2. I took out a Deep Ultramarine, number 29, and I took out a Deep Ultramarine, a Deep Ultramarine 29 there, and a Spectrum Blue, which was the palest blue I could find. And I didn't scribble from the paper palettes. I actually scribbled on here. So I scribbled a little bit of yellow and a little bit of blue, and then I wet them together to get the green. And then I put a little bit of yellow and a lot of blue to get a bluey green. And then I took, I don't know why those two are swapped. That should go into here. So I took the Deep Vermilion and I mixed it with the Deep Cadmium number 6 by scribbling a little bit of red and then scribbling a little bit of yellow, and then getting the water and mixing it together to form it into a colour, and that gave me some oranges. I think those two are the wrong way around actually, because that's a better orange and that's a reddy orange. So and then a little bit more yellow and a less red to get the yellowy orange. And same with the purples. I had a red and a blue to get the purple. Then I put a bit, this time I put red, a little bit of blue, more red, and I got a reddy purple. This one I did a little bit of blue here, then I did a little bit of red, and then I put more blue, and that gave me a purpley blue. And I did that all the way around. So I didn't need the 72 pencils I have. I could make all those colours with just 6 Derwent watercolours. Having said that, it is a lot easier. But there's no reason, and that was just doing it with a scribble. That wasn't doing it like I've got them in here. Because that's the, oh sorry, I do apologise, that's the ink 10. Number 2 is the lemon cadmium, and then number 6 is the deep cadmium. So you can tell that's a cool and that's a warm. And then I've got that range of colours in there. But there's no reason why I can't make, especially with these pencils, there is no reason why they're here. There is no reason why I can't mix a yellow and a blue. And this is what I do when I use the pencils. Now, if you mix those together to make that green, it's not brilliant on this sketch paper, but it would work on the other one. That can dry. There's quite a lot of colour on that. Oh, I've got some pink in there somewhere. But when that's dried, you can, like this one, I can reconstitute this. And that's all my other is. It's scribbled on. And that's why these are wonderful. Because when they're dried, even though that's dry, when that's dried, I can go back into it and I can get a paler one. So these are fab. So I have to say that was a pretty good thing for me to play about with. So to get a purpley blue, so let's see if I can do this now. So that's an orange, that's the red, and that's all I did, scribbled over with yellow. See, I couldn't do this too much because it would hurt my hands. So I've made an orange. So that's another colour that I didn't really need. So if we put, I would think that this one is an ultramarine. So if we put an ultramarine here and a red over the top, you've got a purple. So I hope that's kind of broken it down, that you don't need 100 of everything, and especially with these are fab. So I then made one for Inktense, a colour wheel. This is going to be the colour wheel like this one. It's going to be made with the two colours, the two reds. In fact, I might even try to do it with one, actually. I might even try to do it to one. Let me see if I can make, oh, I've got some dirt on there now. Let me see if I can make this Madder Carmine into, and I would only have the yellow. I would only have these colours. Yes, I haven't got ultramarine. I've got the cool blue. So let me see if I can make it with these colours. And then we'll call it a day. But I'll just do this. So I would have to make an orange. It's nearly there. So what I need to do now is do that much yellow. And that much red. So try that. And lo and behold, that's a cadmium. So I've actually done it. I've made almost a deep vermilion using Madder Carmine and lemon cadmium. So now we need, so I've made the orange, but I made the orange with that lemon. So let's see if I can make it. So now we want orange. So we want quite a lot of that and a little bit of this. And make sure the paintbrush is clean, and then we shall mix that to there. That's a little bit light. And there we have our orange. So very little of the bright reds. You can actually do that. So we've got the orange. And now we want a green. So we will put some... Now this is easy because we have the cool blue and the cool yellow, which makes a perfect green. And lo and behold, we have a perfect green. It's very pale, but it's there. So now I need to make a vermilion. So bearing in mind this is spectrum blue, and I'm going to put one line of red. And I've got purple. Oh, I've got too much water in there. I've got purple. So we'll try again. So we want, I told you I can't have a neat, I just can't have a neat tidy thing. I just want a dot of red. Oh, I do apologise, puppy alert. Gee whiz. So let's see if that's warmed it up. It's warmed it up a little bit, but not enough. So we'll have another dot. And that's almost the same. So it's 2 dots to a squiggle. So I've made French ultramarine. So I was quite pleased with that. So with those 3 colours, I can make everything I want. So actually I've put it down to 3 again. The one I was looking at, so I will do that with those, and I will also do it with the I was looking at the Neocolor 2s, the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s. Now I haven't labelled these because I don't have many, but I do have a reddy red and I have an orangey red. I do have a cool blue and a purpley blue, and I have a lemony yellow and a warm yellow. So I might do that next time. If the Ecoline hasn't come back, I will do that. So and I'll do it with the peerless as well. But the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s, I'm going to use, I could use 2 colours or I can use 6. So I hope that was interesting. The one thing about these colours, they will constitute, because that's what these are. That's what all these are scribbles of colour. If I look at this colour here, is number 19. Number 19 is Madder Carmine, and 19 is so when that's got a little bit, if you can see that little bit when I've used it. And what should I do on Bunny's Designs on YouTube? My hands are really bad doing this, so next time I do it I'm gonna have to get the kids to do it. There's a video called Revamping My Little Book, and it shows me revamping the Inktense. So when the colours go a bit too much, I scribble over the top, and that's why I label them, so I don't have to pull them off and put them back on, because I thought this sketch paper, which is only the cheap stuff, would just go to mush when I've been wetting it, but it doesn't. It's brilliant. But I think that's because I use one colour and then I use another colour. I don't sit and use lots of colours. I flick through and I mix them up. But again, I can't do it with these, and these are Faber-Castell watercolour sticks, crayon sticks. I can't do it with those because I only have a pink. Mind, if I mix the pink to make a pink, now I can mix, if I have a pink, I can mix a pinky red, and I can mix a warm yellow. So actually I could do that. That's the cobalt, and I don't think that's going to be blue enough, but we could have a go, because that's why they're giving you a green. They only give you a green if you can't make a bright green with those two. And I don't think cobalt. It is cool, but because it's cool, it's here. But it's not like the this one. This is a cooler one. So I hope that wasn't as clear as mud. And as I say, I shall colour these in, and then we can try and make them. But the other thing I would show is I think that the Winsor & Newton gouache I have in the back, which looks quite broken. There's still quite a lot of colour on there. Again, I've got the 2 yellows, I've got the 2 reds, and I've got the 2 blues. So I can do a colour wheel, and that will also show you what medium to use for whatever you're doing. So if you're doing a watercolour, you might not want to use the inks, but you might want to use the Derwent pencils because they're quite pale and they're nice. They give some lovely colours. So I hope that was I hope that was interesting, and thank you for bearing with me. But we've made quite a few colours, and we've made some unusual ones. So again, I'm going to try and find them, and I can name them. I think that would be, I don't know what that one would be. I did think I'd found a brick red, but because I've got I will match them to Derwent pencils purely because I love the Derwent pencils. If I had a choice of anything, I would have this set if I had to give any up. I mean, that's a vermilion pale, but there's an orange there. So when we originally made the oranges, we made the orange. I'm going. So I can match them up to see which orange. So I think that orange, the orange red, is the Scarlet Lake. So I've made Scarlet Lake, or I can't read it upside down, sorry, or Spectrum Orange. Well, Spectrum Orange would be good because that would be perfect. So I hope you found that interesting. Again, with the yellow, you see the yellows, I'm not too far away. And that's a green. Now that's an unusual green, that one. I think that this one is quite pale. Yes, that's an olive. Now the olives were further round, weren't they? It's not quite a water green, isn't that? I did have an emerald green, but that one is like a bottle green. That's almost a bottle green. And I think that one is a May green if you look there. So that would be quite interesting to mix and match and see whether I could get the 72 ink pencils, whether I could get 72 colours out of my 3. That would be good. And I will be able to because Derwent put the pigment in the pencils to make the full range. So they have the pigments to mix. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get every colour, 72 colours out of 3 pencils. So thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, what's left of it. And please join me again for some other lunacy of trying to make things out of cheap printer inks. But they're going down, the yellow one's going down a lot, look. But for £3.50, I thought that was a good bargain. So bye everybody, and thank you ever so much for watching me. And thank you for watching everybody on YouTube if you've tuned in to the end of part 3. But we did get, I will get my daughter to count the colours, but we've made quite a few colours today, including some unusual ones as well. And so that's proved that we can get some dirty purples and some bricky kind of colours. And we don't need to buy 100 of everything. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll stop the recording.